Whoa there, all this talk about podcasting is making me dizzy. Well, I'm here to tell you it's really not that challenging. I'm Brad Gustafson. You can connect with me on Twitter with any questions at GustafsonBrad. This is Podcasting 101. The first thing you'll want to do to get started is download the TouchCast app. Trust me, it's the best one out there that I've come across. Very intuitive. We'll dive in with a few how-tos today. I promise it won't be too overwhelming, and we might just have a little fun while we're learning together. All right. Are you with me so far? You've downloaded TouchCast? Okay, good. Now don't panic. We're not going to dive right into creating our own podcast. There's actually a natural progression most people follow. And if you'll indulge me for a second, I'm going to pull up my blog. About a month ago, I put together a series of digital leadership challenges compiled from connected educators across the country. And challenge number 2 by Kurt Reese is all about podcasting. So we'll just use this blog post as a springboard for our learning and your challenge today. Step number 1 in podcasting is actually just subscribe and view other people's podcasts. I might suggest Techlandia or the podcast known as Principal Cast. Edu All-Stars has a great podcast. Brand Ed on the BAM Radio Network is a podcast that I listen to, or I started my own podcast. It's called 30 Second Take, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Once you've viewed and shared a couple podcasts, you really are ready to start your own. Now, TouchCast, the good news is TouchCast makes it really easy. How easy, you ask? That's a great question. TouchCast is as easy as opening up the app and hitting that little red record button on the bottom of the screen. That's it. You're podcasting. Now, the good news is you can get a little more involved as your comfort level increases. Now, when our school first started podcasting and having the kids do our video news, our e-news each week, we didn't get too fancy. But as we got more and more comfortable with the process in TouchCast, we started having the kids add some VApps or photographs of their work in their podcasts. I'm going to show you how that can be done in just a second. Okay. The more you use TouchCast, the more you'll want to use these VApps. Now, I'm pretty sure VApp just stands for Video App, and it's an interactive element that you can embed in your TouchCast. So whether you're a teacher creating a video podcast newsletter for parents on a weekly basis, having students actually create a product for their learning or communicate with parents or an authentic audience, or an administrator communicating with faculty or stakeholders, TouchCast has a VApp for you. The one that I probably use the most when I'm able to talk is the photo VApp. So I'm going to demonstrate that here in just a second. Okay, we're still in the VApp menu in TouchCast. If you look at the third button from the left on the top, the white one that says photo, that's probably the VApp tool that I use the most. By clicking on that button, you'll be brought into your iPad or your device's camera roll, and you can just select the photo that you want to embed in your podcast. So I'm going to select this awesome recess picture from a nice spring day in Minnesota and great memories. But imagine being able to share those with your families. If a teacher is doing a newsletter, it's just a different dynamic. If a principal's doing flipped PD, you can share PDFs. You can embed videos in your TouchCasts. Really limitless potential with this app. Here's another example of a photo. It's a screenshot I took from the podcast that I just started, and it's called 30 Second Take. I'd encourage you to either follow me on Twitter to get connected to that podcast, or just you could go right to the hashtag 30 Second Take. And this is the format for this podcast is you get to vote who the co-host is from week to week based on what you say at the hashtag 30 Second Take. So it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool. It's interactive to be sure, but it's just another example of a podcast. So there you have it. That's Podcasting 101. I didn't get too involved in a green screen and stuff, but I will say TouchCast, again, makes green screen really easy. Half the battle is just starting. Just start. Our kids need us to start. They need us to be on this digital leadership journey, because if we are not engaged with 21st century tools in a digital age, they are going to miss out. We have to be learners in this. We don't have to be experts. Kids don't need experts, but they do need learners. So be a learner. Give it a try. There are plenty of people in your PLN that will help you. I'm happy to help. If I don't know the answer, which is a strong likelihood, I might know somebody else who could help you out. Make it a great day, and thanks for tuning in.